Okay, hello, what is up guys? Okay, today I have a Duel Network duel with Lswarm and a dragon based deck. Now, first things first, I would just like to give a massive thanks to Millsy here because we did have an original duel and I completely messed up with the footage, so they were kind enough to duel me again. So, as you can see, my opening hand isn't all that good. I decided to set the pandemic, see if I could hopefully try and bluff a decent back row. I set my gatekeeper because he's got a decent defense and hopefully I could survive something that my opponent would put on me. So I'm just fiddling around a bit, because as you can probably tell there is quite a lot of lag in this. I'm not sure if it's just my internet in general or what I'm using to record, but my opponent starts his turn. And he flips the Exploder Dragon, attacks me. I reveal my Gatekeeper, who has 1900 defense, so he's big and bulky. Takes no damage because of Exploder Dragon, I completely overlooked that factor. And then I draw another caller, so I decide to summon the caller. I was originally intending on going for an Ophion, but then I remembered that if I did go into an Ophion and attacked the Exploder Dragon, my Ophion would die, so I decided that I would go for the Bahamut Lswarm Bahamut. So I could discard the caller that is in my hand and special summon, no, not special summon, take control of his Exploder Dragon permanently. So here's me just thinking, do I go for the Ophion? I think I also considered Exoton Knight at one point, so I go for the Bahamut. That's me just checking around. I go for the what am I doing? I click on I, summon the Bahamut. Here I am still thinking what would be the best play. So I summon the Bahamut, and then once I special summon, he special summons the Phantom Dragon. So at this point, Phantom Dragon's effect is basically when I special summon a monster, he can special summon that from his hand, but he loses 2 monster zones permanently. So what happens is, I think, oh, I know what I can do. I decide to detach and steal his Phantom Dragon. So there's me just discarding caller. So I decide to take his Phantom Dragon. So then I enter battle phase. I attack Exploder Dragon with the Phantom Dragon. And he magic cylinders me, so I took a hefty chunk of damage there. And because I do not want to waste my Bahamut, I decide to end my turn at that. So he draws. I've got the 2 soul charges. I can go for an Ophion next turn if I want to. I think he's just pondering. So he decides to set a card. He then attacks my Bahamut, thus destroying both of them, because Exploder Dragon's effect is, if it is destroyed by battle, it is to destroy the monster who essentially destroys it through battle. So I still have his Phantom Dragon. Of course, he still doesn't have the 2 monster slots which are taken up by those tokens. So I'm thinking what to do. So I decide to set the Gatekeeper, and then I activate one of my soul charges, so I can try and get some advantage. So I'm thinking, what can I go for? So I decide to go for, well, I special summon the 2 callers to my side of the field, thus taking 2,000 points of damage. And I believe I go for the Ophion. Yes, I do. I overlay them for the Ophion, and I then detach to, because I have 2 out of my 3 pandemics, I feel that I don't need to search out a third one of them. So I believe I decide to go for Infestation Infection. So as I have my Gatekeeper set, if I were to draw an Evil Swarm, I could basically return it to my deck. So I could add one of the Girastags that I use, which is a pretty decent card, especially if you couple it with the Steel Swarm Caller. Very good for XYZ summons, especially if you like, say I had a Caller, well, say I normal summoned, no, say I had a Caller on the field, I then normal summoned, what's his name, Pollux, him, yes, him, that would then allow me to tribute summon the Caller, Caster, that's it. So say I have a Caller on my field, I can then normal summon Caster, which would then allow me to normal summon the Girastag in my hand using the Caller on the field. And Caller's effect is when it is tributed for the tribute summon of a Steel Swarm monster, I can special summon one level 4 or lower Steel Swarm monster from my deck. So in that turn, I can get an Ophion and a Girastag, as well as plus 1,000 life points and one card on their field destroyed. So as you can see, I draw the Caster and I think, ooh, what can I do here? So I decide to activate Infestation Infection. I just check to see if that's okay. Seems to be fine. So I then reveal that I have the Castor in my hand. Special summoning him in attack mode. I then return Castor to my deck so that I can add the Steel Swarm Girastag. Once again, I just do apologise for the sheer lag and slowness of this video, but it's all good in the end. So I add the Girastag. As you can see from my tech profile, I do run a lot of traps and back row in this deck. So I then flip summon the Gatekeeper and tribute for the Girastag. Now, Gatekeeper can be very useful, especially if you have an Infestation Ripple set, while you have the combo that I was talking about earlier on. Because when a Steel Swarm monster is tribute summoned while Gatekeeper is face up on the field, he gives you an extra normal summon. So there I am using Girastag effect, and I managed to pop the Decoy Dragon. So right now I think, okay, let's attack my strongest monster. I don't know why. Maybe, I don't know, for some reason I thought there was a dragon with high defense. Or maybe if it was Exploder Dragon, but it is a Kodomo Dragon. I believe that's a Kodomo Dragon. And obviously my opponent was hoping that he had a Dragon type monster in his hand. However, it appears he does not. Now, because he has those two monster zones taken up, I can attack freely. So a big chunk of his life points are going now. And I decide to set the extra Pandemic, and is that all I do? Do I set the Soul Charge? No, I do not set the Soul Charge. So right now, I pretty much don't have any useful back row, apart from back row I can use to protect myself. Millsy's pulling that face again, and for some reason he gave me a token. I don't want your tokens. So his dragon deck is mainly around setting up for 5-headed dragon, filling the grave with dragons, so that you can Dragon's Mirror for the 5-headed one. So yeah, at this point he summons Trident Dragon, which basically allows him to send any number of dragon monsters from his hand to the grave to gain a permanent 300 attack boost. So I believe he sends 3 dragons to the graveyard. All of them are quite high levels, as obviously you can summon them through Ophion. Because of Ophion. Yeah, see, he sent 3. So I believe now he crashes the Gyrus. He crashes into Ophion. Yes, he does. So I take 50 life point damage, as much as that sounds. And I think that next while we were all just joking around about how I took such a massive amount of life point damage. Yes, 50 life points, game changer. So I draw into another I keep calling it Catastor, another Castor. So at this point I'm thinking, oh, what can I do? So I normal summon the Castor. I then decide to crash the Gyrostag into his Trident Dragon, as they both have 2,600 attack points. So that one goes to the grave, which then leaves me free to attack with both his Phantom Dragon and my Castor. So in the end, his own monster betrayed him. As he's saying in the chat now, his own monster just basically betrayed him. So that was the game. I'd just like to thank you all for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, like, all that stuff, and I hope to see you on future videos. Oh, also, if you would like any deck profiles of these, just comment them down below. Okay guys, bye!